Hey friends, it is Jamie back with Simply Living It. I want to share with you something we started in our homeschool, I think 5 years ago now, and it changed everything in our homeschool. It changed my perspective on homeschooling. It changed the weight that I carried with our decision to homeschool. I felt about everything, and I can truly say that I love homeschooling. After 13 years homeschooling our 3 boys, I love this journey that we have been on. I love getting to be with my boys every single day. And I feel like this is a video I've been wanting to share for a while. And as we're gearing up for a fresh new homeschool year, I think this is the perfect time to share this with you. Part of that, I think, is my surrender to what I think homeschooling was supposed to look like, my surrendering the ideas in my head and in my mind surrounding education and what educating our children should look like. I think a lot of that, some of those walls over time had been broken down, and God has been doing a work in me completely with a lot of that, the weight and the standard and the pressure that I put on myself in what education should look like for our 3 boys. And the other part of that changed everything is the family style learning, the unit study learning concept. We introduced unit studies into our homeschool, and it literally changed everything. It is the most sweet, precious, my absolute favorite time in our homeschool day is sitting on this couch in this living room, coffee in hand, just like now, with books and blankets, and sitting with each of my boys present right next to me. Maybe they're having hot chocolate. Maybe they're building Legos while I read aloud to them. It looks different every day, but this family style atmosphere in our homeschool has changed everything. This is not something we've done all along. I was the traditional boxed curriculum. You buy the set, you do it all at the table, you separate your children based on grade, and they do all independent subjects. I teach to each child. That's how we started this journey. For our home, for our family, for our style and approach, for what I want our homeschool journey to look like, the sweetest moments we have, the best discussions and conversations we have, the sweetest learning and exploring that we have is not found when we're separated. There are moments of winning, math moments where we're like, yes, we got that concept, we get it. Like you have those moments when things are separated and your children are doing their independent subjects. However, the most pivotal moment in our homeschool was when we introduced unit studies. It changed everything. I absolutely love homeschooling my children. I felt compelled to share this one with you because it did make that big of a difference in our homeschool. Unit studies made that big of a difference, and we still do independent subjects. So don't think that we're just a unit study specific family, because we are not. We do group subjects, we do family subjects, we do unit studies, we do our independent subjects. And those are beautiful and great too, but my mama heart loves and lives for and thrives for these moments around our couch in the morning, where we're learning together, where we're reading God's word together, where we're dissecting a specific unit study together, something that we want to learn, that we're excited about learning, and that we are doing all together. We do not do history and science individually. Those are group family subjects for us. I want to encourage you, if you have not tried this in your homeschool, maybe this is something that would be awesome for your family too, and maybe it would be as life-changing for your homeschool as it has been for us. Not only is it easier because I'm not teaching 3 different levels of science, the unit studies that we use have it broken down per child, per grade level. You pick a level that works for your child. You can make it whatever you want. Half the time, we don't even do the worksheets. We just sit and we read and we talk and we have discussion, open discussion. We share our thoughts and our opinions and what we're thinking and what we're learning. I think each of us in our home, my 3 boys and I, have really come to love this morning time. It's not rushed, it's not chaotic, it's slow, it's simple, it's meaningful, it's jam-packed full of intention. Where sometimes our independent subjects, when we're doing math, it's scrambling to who's gonna get the computer first. It's scrambling to figure out who's gonna do what first, or who needs the TV for streaming, or whatever. Things get a little bit more mumbled and jumbled with independent subjects. But when we're here together doing our family learning, it is my absolute favorite. And right now, as we are preparing to begin our fresh new homeschool year, this will be our 13th year, and I can say over the course of all 13 years, the most pivotal, life-changing, like homeschool changing, and I don't say that lightly, I mean every word. It changed my outlook on homeschooling. It changed my experience. It changed what I value in our homeschool, how I feel about sitting with all my children. It changed my outlook on like what education actually can look like. I was public schooled, so I think, I came into homeschooling thinking that it needed to look the same, and be separated by grade level and all the things. And while that is true with some subjects, I do not think that's true with everything. And it's been beautiful for our homeschool. I absolutely love homeschooling my 3 boys. I can say that. God has done a huge work in me. And this isn't just mom coming at like full of energy and refreshed because we had summer break off and I'm ready to get into all of it and start homeschooling again. Like I'm hungry for that. Yes, that is true. I am hungry for that. I am so ready to sit with my boys and have slow, intentional moments and mornings and get a routine about us, because summer is pretty loose and flowy for us. And our homeschool schedule day to day is pretty loose and flowy too, but we do have a few things that stick. And I'll share that with you in the future as well. However, I truly can tell you, unit studies were an absolute game changer in our homeschool. I love homeschooling my 3 boys. I'm so grateful to be able to do this. And I encourage you, mama, if you are preparing for a new homeschool year and you feel a weight and you feel pressure and you feel all the things, step 1 for me is surrendering our homeschool year to God, giving it to Him, asking Him to come in, show us resources, show us things that we can use, show us how we can make this a whole family thing instead of being so divided by age group and whatever it might be, but bring us together, unite us in this home, under this roof, as a family, in learning, in loving, in making memories, in exploring, in serving in our home, in all things, surrendering that to Him. And also try this. Try implementing family subjects, family studies. Maybe it's a unit study. A few that we've used are Gather Round. We've used a lot of Gather Round unit studies. We will be again this year as well. I'll share those in the future, so make sure that you subscribe if you are not already. I have all my homeschool curriculum picks coming very soon. I'll have a 10th grader, an 8th grader, and a 5th grader. I will be sharing all of that with you. So we have used Gather Round unit studies, a lot of Gather Round unit studies. We have used a few unit studies from The Good and the Beautiful. We will have a few coming this year that we'll be using as well from The Good and Beautiful. We've also used Simple Studies. Hers are awesome. And I'm finding as my kids are getting older, we're kind of shying away from Simple Studies a little bit because they're usually K through 6, which I know anything can bounce anywhere. You can use whatever, however. But I'm finding that with my oldest, I've got an 8th and a 10th grader. So those are sometimes more geared towards my youngest. I know we can use them, however, and implement them. I am the biggest advocate for implementing and using wherever, however, whatever age group. That's just a suggestion. I know that, and I do believe that. However, with some of them that we've used, my oldest being in 10th grade now, we're trying to focus more on some of the things that he's needing and that he's interested in. And I don't want to separate all of our learning just yet. I'm not ready to separate everything out, like I said. And as I'm sharing with you here, I love and thrive with the group dynamic, the family style setting and learning that we have created through homeschooling. And that was not my initial outlook on homeschooling. It was not my idea and vision for homeschooling was not ever all of us sitting together like that one-room schoolhouse type learning environment, but it has simplified our homeschool so much. Truly have minimized what we do day to day and brought in solid intention with what we are doing in our homeschool. So I encourage you, like I said, to try some unit studies. I'll link some down below that we have used before if you're new to the unit study learning side of things. If that's something maybe you haven't introduced into your homeschool, it's been such a gift for us, and we love unit studies. I am so ready to sit on this couch with my boys cozied up and to start learning and exploring and opening those conversations and resting together and thriving. I'm so ready for that. I'm hungry for that again. And I just wanted to share it with you because it's been an absolute game changer for us. And I can come on here and say, I truly, truly, truly love homeschooling my boys. I am so thankful for the opportunity to get to homeschool them the way that we choose to homeschool. And I just hope that, I know that when I look back on these days, years down the road, when I look back on our homeschool journey, these are the moments that I remember. It's the slow, intentional doing art together. Charlotte's Web, that was one read aloud we did together that I'll never forget. We did that read aloud together. We made a simple farmhouse style breakfast, and we did some painting together. We all did some painting with a little, with Wilbur, and we found it online and just made a whole day out of it. And that was all kind of unit study or novel theme based. And it was beautiful. It was one of my most favorite memories in our homeschool, along with many others that I could share. I could talk your leg off, but they've all been surrounded by, like, all these memories have in common together, bringing our family together. And I hope that my boys will always cherish these moments also. The together, the sitting together with mom and their brothers and learning together, homeschooling together. That's the vision that I now have for our homeschool that I didn't have starting off, because I didn't know that that was an option. I didn't know that we could do this, that we could do this all together. I had no idea that was an option. And God has worked in our home and in our life and in the homeschool realm as a whole, and really just changed a lot of things. I've never been one that had the energy to create my own unit study. So I'm thankful for these moms and these companies that have created them for us, because they've been a beautiful gift in our homeschool and have literally changed everything. And I can say I love homeschooling my boys, and I am so grateful for this opportunity. And that's just a little bit of encouragement that I have for you in today's video. I will be sharing all of our curriculum hauls and everything in the coming weeks. I am so grateful to have you here with us in this space. I will see you in our next video.